Hello country mouse walkers, and welcome to part 2 of Douglas, and I'm starting at the sea terminal and we're going to take a walk into the town centre I think now. So I've just seen this on my way back, and this is Douglas tramwheel. So it says instant success 1896. Just make our way through the roadworks and the clock tower landmark that everybody will be. That's the Jubilee Clock Tower, 1996. It's going to go into the town bit over towards the marina. Some wonderful views on that hilltop up there. Not sure if they're houses or hotels. Occasionally you get one that looks like a castle. There's a couple there together, the white one and the stone one. So if you come by car, when you first come out the ferry, this is about the first roundabout you come to. Also, be aware that the Isle of Man uses pounds and pence like they do in the UK on mainland, but they have their own print, so you can spend mainland money here but you can't spend Manx money in the UK. So if you've got any Manx money at the end of your visit, you want to use it if you don't want to take it home. Some of them are very good. I have been asked before in shops, do you want our money or yours? We're into the North Quay now. So, got Cantilever Bridge over there. And then the Marina Quay, the North Quay here. And this, when you leave here, you leave on the opposite side to where the where the steam packet ferry leaves from. Some lovely old buildings. The history of the Isle of Man goes all the way back to the Vikings. The language is very Celtic. They have their own language, which is still taught in schools, as they're trying to keep it alive. You find some of the older generation will speak in Manx, but most converted market hall into a coffee shop. Looks really nice. You'll you go Tudor house. Yeah, so you'll find the majority just speak English. There's a lot of Irish on the island and a lot of people from Lancashire as well. I know people that's married people on the island that have moved here, and then others, like my brother-in-law, grew up on the island. He now lives on the mainland. They do have a bit of a shortage of keeping younger people on the island. But there's a lot of opportunities, there's a lot of work here. There's quite a few breweries on the island. I can just spot one over in the distance with the ram head over there. One of my videos we saw Bushes, which I think is probably the most famous. They usually run the beer tents on the island during racing. Can't read from here what that one's name is. They've also have a gin company on the island, and they do a fantastic range of herb gins. That's up at Ramsey. It's when I hadn't got my camera on me that I spotted it. A little bit expensive, but it is well worth it as a treat. Sort of thing I ask for Christmas and birthdays. So that is the end of the marina on the quayside. Now I'm going to head into town, back to the seafront. So up there, just at the top of the hill, is the railway station for the start of the steam train. And another thing, while I'm thinking about it, visiting the island, is check your network. We've changed our provider and found maybe a little bit more expensive than other UK ones, but it does allow us to use our mobiles on the island. They have their own providers, and unless your provider's in agreement with theirs, you can't use it without very high roaming charges. So we're lucky. Everything we do is covered by our provider at the minute, which is good, especially as it can't make up its mind whether I'm in Guernsey or the Isle of Man at the moment. Keeps swapping between the two. If you can't, and you've got a second SIM, or you can change your SIM, and you can actually buy a temporary SIM card. So we've got George Formby, made his film. George Formby. Location on the Isle of Man, apparently. Pretty little waterfall there. Some real lovely old buildings here as well. They've got some real strange names for their pubs as well. Like the Thirsty Pigeon ahead of us. It's got a sign outside for Fin and Tonic. So Finoddery. I was told by a lady in a pub yesterday is how you pronounce the gin they sell here. Not sponsored by them, just drink a lot of it. No, that makes it sound terrible, doesn't it? It's my drink of choice. Got their own sort of... So they do have the sort of shops we have. Well, there's big Marks and Spencer's there. Everything is slightly more expensive because of transport, and a lot of stuff you buy online you can't get delivered here. Now that is new. I've not seen that before. Premier Inn. Might have to have a little wander into Marks and get a sandwich later. Mind you, they are very good here. If you've got any specific dietary requirements, they are very good. if I can find something local, I'd rather have that than go to somewhere I know. Now I was hoping I was going to end up in the town centre, but it looks like I'm behind the shops. It's a bit of a warren of roads. They are Douglas's. So the Strand is a shopping centre, so I know where I am now. Multi-storey car park over there, lower levels of disc, higher levels anyone can park. And I can finally find my way to the front of the shops. I wonder. Bearing in mind it's early Sunday morning, so most of the shops aren't open. That takes us back down to the seafront, and then you've got the shops down here. There will be cafes and things that will be open. Pretty much looking like a standard mainland shopping centre. There's also an airport on the Isle of Man, just near Castletown. So Shaw is one of their mobile providers. Manx Telecom is their internet provider. And I've got a feeling they do the mobile as well. Yep, mobile provider as well. See, they've got their own bank as well. So a few more shops in that direction, but we're going to head back to the seafront. I think what I was going to say was, you may have noticed very few people wearing masks. And the main reason for that is, during COVID, the Isle of Man locked themselves down. They've had very, very, very few cases, hardly any deaths. They've gone up slightly of late. But the main thing is that they've got a very high uptake of vaccinations, and the very strict entry rules at the minute. So you can only come onto the island if you're double jabbed. You have to prove this to get a exemption from isolation or PCR testing. And then you have to then apply for a landing pass just before you come, and providing you've got no symptoms, you're allowed to travel. It's a little bit complicated. You look for what bracket you come into and then just read those instructions. I wouldn't worry about anybody else's. And like anything else, the travel restrictions change all the time. Seeing that pubs just remind me another thing, especially if you're out of season, is a lot of cafes, restaurants shut early, even like 4 or 5 o'clock. There is a McDonald's, which I think is open most of the time. This is one of those very confusing roundabouts they've got, which people just tend to drive over. The TT merchandise shop, but they tend to have a lot more of these pop up. That's obviously a permanent one. just get a view of that. Bring it. An interesting piece of artwork. And as I was saying, things like pubs, they all close. They all close really early sometimes, out of season. So don't think because a pub's open till 10 or 11 in the UK, it could shut at 9 here. So check. The old Central Hotel in front of us, and another very strange roundabout. So from speaking to the locals, totally confused by it, so I don't know what holidaymakers think. Cross over. You can see the tram lines. These are for the horse-drawn carriage. We've got the Empress Hotel. We've got everything from Victorian, Edwardian, Art Deco, up to modern day. It's a real expansive seafront. Sun keeps coming in and going out, you can see over there. So when I was saying about buildings looking like castles, you've got Castle Mona Hotel there. Looks like it's looks a bit derelict, so it looks like it's no longer in use, which is a shame. Up on the hillside there, I believe that's a private residence, so I'll say there's a lot of money on the island, a lot of millionaires, billionaires. Palace Cinema is at the back there. This is the Best Western Hotel. And casino. The only one on the island. Okay, so we're just about at the end of Douglas Seafront. You then move into Onchan, which is past those green sheds, which is the electric railway. And then you move up into Onchan itself, which is the houses you can see on the top of the hillside over there. And that is Onchan's the biggest village on the island. So if you've enjoyed looking at Douglas Seafront, I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for joining me. And hopefully just have a quick better view of that house up there. Must have stunning views out at sea. Then please like, please subscribe, please leave a comment, and hopefully very soon we'll see you back here on another one of my walks. So stay safe for now, everybody. Stay well. Bye. And just at the top of one of the steepest hills in Douglas, although there's a bridge that goes over on the car park, and I think there's a lift. Here's the Manx Museum. So full history of the museum in there. And they also do have a TT display as well.